You know, when people think about Vietnamese food, I think they often think of pho or bánh mì. But if you ask me what kind of food I crave on a regular weeknight, there's a good chance that I would look a lot more like this. This is cơm nhà, and these are the everyday dishes that we love coming home to at the end of the day. And today, I'm going to show you a few of my favorites. Caramelized fish in a clay pot, garlic morning glory, and a comforting sour soup made with pickled mustard greens and pork ribs. So, let's get into it. Since the soup is going to take the longest, let's start there. We're working with pork riblets today. Cut them into smaller pieces and throw them in a pot of boiling water to remove any scum and impurities. Once they're rinsed and drained, transfer them to the inner pot of your Instant Pot, along with some water, salt, an onion, and a bit of rock sugar. Place it back into the Instant Pot, seal the lid, and pressure cook on high for 25 minutes. While the broth does its thing, we can move on to prepping our aromatics. For the garlic, give it a really fine mince. The shallots are going to need to be prepped two different ways. Finely chop some of them and slice the rest into thin rounds. I'm going to show you why a little later. For the green onions, finely mince the white parts and thinly slice the green tops. Let's work on the caramelized fish next. I'm using frozen catfish steaks today, but any firm fish that can hold up to braising is going to work really well here. Salmon steaks, sea bass, kingfish, or grouper are all great options. Once the catfish has thawed, give it a good scrub with salt and rinse it well under cold water. Because catfish naturally live in muddy waters, this helps remove any lingering muddy or fishy aroma. For the marinade, start with some chopped shallots and mince white parts of the green onions. Then add salt, pepper, chicken bouillon, and fish sauce. Put on a pair of gloves and gently massage everything into the fish, making sure the seasoning gets into all the crevices. Let the fish marinate for 5 to 10 minutes while you heat up a pan with some neutral oil. Next, sear the fish in a hot pan until both sides develop a nice golden crust. We're not trying to cook it through here. The goal is simply to build some flavor and help the fish hold its shape during the braise. Once both sides are nicely browned, transfer the fish to a clay pot lined with those sliced shallots from earlier. The shallots create a small barrier that helps prevent the delicate fish from sticking to the bottom. Bring back the pan from earlier and add a little oil along with a few spoonfuls of sugar. This is where we'll make the beautiful caramel sauce that gives gak hot dog its signature color and deep, savory sweetness. Keep the heat low and give the sugar time to slowly turn into a rich amber caramel. Once it reaches that color, add the garlic and shallots and let them fry until fragrant. Add the remaining marinade along with about 2 cups of water. Mix well and add a bit of additional fish sauce and about 1 tablespoon of Vietnamese chili sauce. This isn't going to make it spicy, but it's going to enhance the color of your braise. Bring everything to a gentle boil and then carefully pour that braising liquid into the clay pot, making sure all of the fish is mostly submerged. At this point, the fish is already pretty delicate, so try not to move it around too much. The pieces should have a little room between them so the liquid can circulate evenly as they braise. You know, none of these dishes are super fancy. You probably won't find this exact meal on any restaurant menu. But growing up, these were the types of dishes that would actually show up on the dinner table. There was usually a pot of rice going, a huge bowl of soup in the middle, a stir-fry dish, and something savory to eat the rice with. And honestly, to this day, it's still this kind of food that I crave the most. Not restaurant food, not special occasion food, just everyday food that makes me feel like home. So we'd have this for dinner, and as an immigrant kid, you just know that your mom's gonna make you pack the leftovers for school lunch the next day. And of course, you're gonna get made fun of. But ironically enough, it's these types of dishes that I crave the most today. Let's prep the remaining ingredients for the soup. I'm using store-bought pickled mustard greens today, which usually come packaged like this. Give them a rough chop into smaller bite-sized pieces and rinse them well under cold water to remove some of that excess saltiness. Grab a couple of tomatoes and cut them into wedges. As they cook down, they'll add subtle sweetness and acidity to our broth. In a hot pot, add a little neutral oil and saute shallots and garlic until fragrant. Now, add the pickled mustard greens along with the pork riblets, which by now should be nice and tender from the Instant Pot. Season everything with fish sauce and chicken bouillon and then add half of the tomatoes. We're saving the remaining tomatoes for later so they can keep their shape and retain some of their freshness in the finished soup. Pour in the reserved pork stock from the Instant Pot and bring everything to a gentle simmer. Let the soup simmer gently until the vegetables are tender and the broth develops that signature savory and slightly tangy flavor. As the broth comes to a boil, you're gonna notice some foam float to the top. Skim it with a fine mesh strainer to ensure we get a nice and clear broth in the end. let's check in on the braised fish and see how it's coming along. Wow, look at that beautiful amber color. Some of the natural oils and fat has risen to the surface, which means all of those flavors have had enough time to meld together. Add a few whole chilies and some chopped green onions, and then just turn off the heat. We're just gonna let these guys enjoy their delicious caramelized fish sauce soak while we work on the other dishes. Whenever I go back to Vietnam, all I want to eat are the Vietnamese vegetables. They're so expensive over here that whenever I go back, I basically turn into a vegetarian for a couple weeks. My family over there used to always make fun of me because I used to ask for rau muong at like every meal. They would joke that this is what they feed pigs over there. Meanwhile, I've probably paid as much as like $8 or $9 a pound for the stuff over here in the middle of winter. So it's kind of funny. It just goes to show that some of the simplest or like the peasant foods become the ones that we love and miss the most. All right, on to the last dish and my personal favorite. Let's blanch the morning glory first so that later on we only need to give it a quick stir fry right before serving. Blanching the vegetables beforehand helps preserve their vibrant green color and crisp texture, which can be difficult to achieve if you just stir fry them raw. After about 90 seconds in boiling water, transfer the morning glory to an ice bath to stop the cooking process. Drain the morning glory well and set it aside until we're ready to stir fry. In a small bowl, combine the fish sauce, oyster sauce, sugar, chicken bouillon, and a splash of water. Give everything a good stir. Having the sauce ready beforehand means you're not scrambling for ingredients while stir-frying over high heat. And when you're ready to eat, heat a wok over high heat with a little neutral oil and add the aromatics. In goes the blanched morning glory. Give it a quick toss, pour the sauce over top, and toss everything together again until the vegetables are evenly coated. Finish with some sliced Fresno chilies for a little color and heat. Plate it immediately and bring it to the table to be served. I'm all done now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add the remaining tomato wedges and let them heat through for a minute or so. Place the trivet on the table and carefully bring over the hot clay pot. Don't try to transfer the fish to another serving dish, okay? It's incredibly tender and it's gonna fall apart. So for the soup, grab a large family-style bowl and ladle in plenty of the broth along with the pork ribs, tomatoes, and mustard greens. That slightly tangy, savory broth is honestly one of the best parts, so don't be shy about serving plenty of it. And just like that, with a little bit of planning and the right sequencing, we've brought 3 classic Vietnamese dishes to the table at the same time. A bubbling clay pot of gà kho, a bowl of tangy canh, and crisp garlic morning glory. The kind of meal that many of us grew up eating around the dinner table. And by now, if you haven't started cooking your rice yet, you're in trouble. Because no Vietnamese family meal is complete without a pot of white rice ready to go. This fish is so tender and flavorful, and it goes perfectly with a bowl of hot white rice. Oh my goodness, the nostalgia. And this right here is probably one of my top 5 favorite foods. You could probably take everything else off this table and I'd still be perfectly happy with just this. And this canh. If you love a classic canh chua cá, you absolutely have to try this version. It has a slightly different flavor, but it's every bit as comforting and addictive. So you know those moms that always say, we have food at home? Well, this is the food at home. And honestly, I take this over takeout any day. I'll link the full recipes below so you guys can give these dishes a try. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!